Hey, hi, it's Tori. Thanks for coming by Tori Magoo 44. I got a few things I want to go over with you guys today. Many of you are planning on coming to the picket March 15th. I'm really happy you're coming. I don't know if many of you have had this experience, but a bunch of us have had different people from Scientology coming on and writing really nasty things about how, oh, Anonymous is really not interested in this, blah, blah, blah. I just want you to know there are a ton of people that are going to be at it, so don't listen to them and don't get into it. And also, you are a bunch of knuckleheads. I've told you since the beginning of time when I was in Scientology, you are creating your own enemies. Okay, that's what I said when I was in. I was OT7. I was in What is Scientology? I was very well thought of as a Scientologist. I was actually trying to help you guys for a very long time. And nobody would listen. Nobody had time. Everybody in the church always has to get their stats up, so they're busy, handling this, handling that. It doesn't matter. You know, you're like nothing when you're in the Church of Scientology. It's the weirdest thing until you get out and you get declared suppressive. And then overnight, you become this very, very important person. I thought I'd show you my suppressive declare. This is it. They actually, I'm sorry about the reflection, but they literally put it on this goldenrod piece of paper and they just declare you. They're supposed to have a committee of evidence to decide, you know, here my side, here their side. It doesn't matter anyway because they're going to do whatever they're going to do. That's the truth of the matter. I've been around these things long enough and it doesn't really matter, so I didn't really care. But it is totally out tech. They never talked to me. They never heard my side. Nothing. They just, poof, Tori Bazazian has been declared a suppressive person. In early 2000, she left Scientology of her own volition. True. It's the one true thing in this. And began associating with others who seek the destruction of our religion. Not really. Most of the people I know seek the destruction and exposure of the abuses of, we don't really consider it a religion, most of us, but if it is, whatever. I don't really care about what you believe. I do care about the abuses, and I've said that since the beginning, even when I was in. Tori abandoned her husband. That's absolutely false, and I told him that at the time. I left a cult. I didn't leave you. And her longtime friends, I didn't abandon my friends. I left a cult. Who had supported and helped her over the years. Granted, all of us have supported each other and knowingly aligned with several declared squirrels, which are really bad people in the church, who are people just thinking for themselves anything different than what they want, and suppressives, who are being paid money to attack Scientology. That's false. And it says, I accepted money. That's false. It goes on and on and on about a bunch of different things that supposedly I did. They do these things with a lot of people. I was in a meeting with some ministers where 3 Scientologists were there, and they said, oh, no, you know, it's only a few people that are declared suppressive. I said, that's a flat-out lie. You can go on the internet. There's a list of thousands who've been declared suppressive, including organizations. But anyway, I thought I'd show you my SP Declare. That's one of the things. I wanted to tell OSA, quit running your stupid programs. We know what they are. These anonymous people are fantastic. They're very hip to trolls. So you guys are way, way behind the 8 ball on that. These guys know your drill. They really do. And the other thing I wanted to go over was Xenu, because a lot of people have asked me about Xenu. Xenu is, you know, Scientology, as I said, is like a triangle, right? And you're moving up it all the time. You start out with Dianetics, and it moves on up these different levels. You're basically paying for them. Everything you do in Scientology, you're paying for. And as you get into these higher levels, it's big, big money. Now, you people, because you've had access to the information, go, how would anybody ever do that? And I agree with you. But when you're in the Truman Show, and that's what I call it, you can't see the walls. You can't. And it's a very slow train of mind control. So each person, all of us, have something that, you know, we either feel is a problem or something we'd like to fix. My thing was epilepsy. And I didn't get into Scientology to fix that either. I didn't really even care about it until they made me get off my medicine and said Scientology and auditing will fix that. So then I got on this long road of trying to fix it, when really all I needed to do is take my medication. I've never had a seizure since in 20 years, and that's thanks to my mom, who is smart enough to say, they're not Right. You know, you are not going to cure this with auditing. And of course, they decided she was a suppressive person because she said that. And when you're declared a suppressive person, you have two choices. You can either disconnect from the person, or you can do good roads, fair weather, which is just like talking about nothing for the rest of your life. I kind of did the good roads, fair weather. I wanted to stay in touch with my mom. But luckily, thank God, before she died, I got out of the cult. So we had a very wonderful conversation, and she was very, very happy about it. So people often ask, with Xenu, how could you believe it? But first of all, you don't have the access to the internet or the information. It's you have to jump through all these hoops to get onto the level, right? You're surrounded by people that are telling you how fantastic it is. It's going to work. It healed this. It helped them with that. Blah, blah, blah. You know, so they're slowly honing you in, and you're going like, yes, 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 I'm ready for it, right? And you pay for it, and then you finally get into the top secret confidential course room, which is a whole nother thing I'll go over on OT7, which is a riot. But they're just insane. I mean, you have to like lock your briefcase to your hand. Literally, one time I walked out of a course room to the examiner, which you have to go through after each session, and I left one of the clips open on my briefcase. So they put me in treason for that, which is the bottom of their ethics conditions, and you have to work out of that. They do it all the time. They're really kooky on this stuff. But anyway, that's just a little bit about it. Honestly, you don't have the access you all have to it, so you're not really thinking the way you guys are thinking. And, you know, a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. And if you ever read the book Blink, it's a great book kind of showing how, you know, man's instincts are really their first thing, but you tend to, like my very first instinct when I saw Scientology, I was a hippie. I was like anti-organizations, anti-uniforms. I had been in peace marches for years, literally, against the war in Vietnam. You know, I was like totally like, what is this? You know, the big picture of Hubbard and everything. So my first instinct was, this is a really weird group. But then I met the auditors, really liked them, and I thought, well, I don't know, I don't care. I like these people. I really want to do what they're doing. See how that works? And it's just like a little twist, a little shutdown in that critical thinking, but then you're on the train, right? And the rest of it just moves along. It's very, very insidious. The people are very nice. Many Scientologists are really nice. So it's very attractive in that way. They have a thing called love bombing, which each cult has, where they're just like, oh, it's so fantastic you're here. And you can say, well, I wouldn't be affected by that. People say it to me all the time. And it's like, I've talked to academics who study cults, and they say anybody could get roped into a cult if they're in the wrong place at the wrong time and they're not educated on how cults work. So I highly recommend you do, get a book called Captive Hearts, Captive Minds, learn about cults. There's many other ones. You can look on the internet and look up mind control cults, things like that, and study how they work. Because once you really know, there's only certain things that they do, but if they're doing them, you can pretty much go, you know what, I don't care how nice these people are, this is a cult. And for all the other people in other cults, thank you for emailing me. I've gotten a lot of nifty emails from people from other cults who've gotten out of theirs, and I want to congratulate you too. So for each of you, March 15th is coming up. I'm looking forward to it. We are going to have a blast. Make sure to invite your friends, family, anybody you want, and to your parents. You should be very proud of your kids. I think this is one of the neatest things many of them are doing in a long time. Just like we did in the 60s, we did the hippie thing, and we've been very proud of it all of our lives. And this is going to be a historical thing. I count on it. All right? So have an excellent week, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.